Boy, oh boy. November has provided chaos. Not only with three big wins, two coming from the SEC, and a big time upset down in the ATL for the Atlantic Coast Conference. But all of a sudden, the CFP rankings came out, and we have even more questions than answers. We'll talk about what took place down in Oxford, Mississippi, and Baton Rouge, Louisiana, among other things from week 11 of the college football season. We'll also talk about what did the CLP ranking show and how did the playoff bracket confuse people this go around. The playmakers in the building, getting ready to preview week 12 for the college football season. So bear down the gridiron starts right.
I feel blessed, that's evident. I'm the best I've ever been. Okay. So if they ask you how I feel, what's up? I'ma tell you I feel amazing. I feel blessed, that's evident. I'm the best I've ever been. So if they ask you how I feel, what's up? I'ma tell you I feel amazing. I feel blessed, that's evident. I'm the best I've ever been. So if they ask you how I feel, I'ma tell you I feel amazing. I feel blessed, that's evident. I'm the best I've ever been. So if they ask you how I feel, I'ma tell you I feel amazing.
Good afternoon, good people. How y'all doing today? It's November 13th and it's on a Wednesday, so bearing down the gridiron is it. As you heard in the opening, a couple of upsets took place. The SEC continues to be in chaos, which led to a chaotic CFP ranking show on Tuesday. So we have more questions than we have answers when it comes to the college football playoffs. Well, we're going to dive into all of that. And plus, get you ready for week 12 of the college football season. As always, thank y'all for tuning in. Thank you for watching on the Playmakers Blog Network YouTube channel. Appreciate you. If you're watching on the Facebook channel or the Playmakers Blog Facebook channel, thank you very much. If you're watching on my personal LinkedIn page, thank you very much. You can also catch this on the Real Rise Radio. Shout out to my big brother, Rise of Healthy. 502 American Angel Radio. And also, we're also available on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music, iHeartRadio, Pandora, and wherever else you can find podcasts is it. So thank y'all for tuning in today. And my brother, the Bear Man of Texas himself, is in the building saying, yeet, what's up, sir? Make sure y'all check him out. He's also a member of the Playmakers Blog Network, Ringside Chaos, Cowboys Talk, Into the Net FC. He has his own thing going on, doing quite well. So y'all check him out if you love soccer, wrestling. You know, if you love the Cowboys, and it's been a pretty rough year for y'all. But hey, you still working with your team. That's the man you go listen to. All right. So make sure you share this out, Bear Man. Do what you normally do. Share it out. Make sure we get people in here. It's going to be an interesting one. So let's go ahead and get right into business right now. And let's go ahead and begin the show. What we normally do with our 2-minute drill. And we're going to go ahead and begin our 2-minute drill simply with this. All right. Wisconsin's Jack Del Rio resigns after crash and the OWI arrest. Okay. Former NFL coach, former Jacksonville Jaguars NFL head coach at that, Jack Del Rio, the senior advisor to Wisconsin's head coach Luke Fickell, has resigned after his arrest early Friday and cited for operating a vehicle while intoxicated in a crash up in Madison, Wisconsin. Del Rio, 61, was arrested shortly after midnight Friday after a vehicle he was driving hit a street sign, broke a fence, and came to a rest in a yard, according to a Madison police incident report. Officer was dispatched to the scene located west of campus and Camp Randall Stadium at 12:35 a.m. Jackie boy. Can't be driving under the influence. You know this. You've been a head coach in the NFL. You have coached in college. Why are you doing stuff that you know you don't want your players doing? Why, sir? Gotta be better than that. Gots to be better. Okay. Nevertheless, Jack Del Rio resigns. He's no longer with the Wisconsin. We'll see if he's doing anything else or he's going to take time away from the game and focus on him. We shall see. Let's go to our next news, and this is a painful one for Alabama. Alabama loses linebacker Q Robinson to season-ending elbow injury. Alabama head coach Kellen DeBoer announced Monday that the Crimson Tide will be without one of their top linebackers, Q Robinson, for the rest of the season after Robinson suffered an elbow injury in the big win at LSU, which we'll get into later on in the show. The loss of Robinson, the 6'5", 241-pound redshirt seniors, is a significant blow to an Alabama defense that has allowed just one touchdown in the past two games. That would be in against LSU and Missouri. That's a bit tough. Okay, and the boy says, quote, "Just a special person in every way. I hate to see a guy who pours so much into it going through what he is going through. The one thing when I think about Q, it isn't just what he does on the field, but pre-practice. He's mentoring and he's doing things for other guys. He just cares so much about the team and cares so much about his place." Close quote. All right, Mr. Robinson, we hope that you have a good, full recovery. And with you being a redshirt senior, I do believe that probably would end your college career. Maybe you'll get an extra year depending on the NCAA, because we never know when it comes to the NCAA. We just never know. But you should be getting a look at the next level at the NFL level. So hopefully we get to see you for the draft, hopefully, and do the things that you need to do at the draft combine to get yourself drafted to the next level. From Tuscaloosa to Columbia, Missouri, as the Missouri Tigers will be without center Connor Towson for the rest of the season. Missouri redshirt junior offensive lineman Colin Towson, one of the country's top centers, is out for the remainder of the season with a knee injury. Towson's injury came in the second half of the home win over Oklahoma on Saturday night. He left the field without putting weight on one of his legs. He started 34 games at center for Missouri and is considered a strong prospect for this year's NFL draft. The extent of the injury and potential recovery time is uncertain, but in all indication, he is done for the season and it could be done for his college career. So same proposition that we gave to Q Robinson, we'll give to Connor Towson. Full recovery. Hope we get to see you at the NFL Draft Combine. See where you at. See if you get drafted to the next level of the NFL, because they just said you are a strong prospect for the NFL. Sticking with the SEC, because it's been a fun week of SEC news. The SEC fines Ole Miss $350,000. LSU $250,000 for incidents held by the fans. The Southeastern Conference has fined Ole Miss $350,000 and LSU $250,000 for instances involving fans during Saturday's games against Georgia and Alabama. We'll recap both of those games in our next segment. Ole Miss incurred a $250,000 fine for a second offense of the league's policy prohibiting fans from entering the field. The school will also receive an additional $100,000 fine because of the fans entering the field with 16 seconds left into the game, without the game being over quite yet. LSU's first violation of the SEC policy against field storming occurred following last year's win against LSU. The $350,000 fine will go to Georgia in occurrence with the SEC policy for violating in conference game. If Ole Miss occurs a third offense of the field or court rushing, it will be subject to a $500,000 fine. So Ole Miss, guess what you can't do? You can't storm the field and you can't storm the court. You got that? Hopefully you did. Now, LSU was also fined. LSU fined stands from fans throwing bottles and other debris onto the field during Saturday's game against Alabama. The SEC's sportsman, game management, and alcohol availability policy requires LSU to pay the fine and use all video resources to identify those who threw objects onto the field at the opposing team. Those identified will be prohibited from attending LSU athletic events for the 2024-2025 calendar year. That means those fans at LSU, if they look at this video and they find out that you was the one throwing stuff onto the field, guess what that means? You can no longer attend any athletic competition games for the rest of this year into next year until the sports calendar season is over. You see what happens when you done stupid stuff? See, we talked about Jet Real to begin this segment. Now we're talking about fans storming the field, which now they can't even storm the field or court. Or we talking $500,000 coming out of the Ole Miss pockets. And then LSU gets a $250,000. And then every fan that they have caught and identified throwing stuff on the field, you will be no longer attending LSU athletic events. Great job. What a swell job. LSU fans, great job. Great job. All right. Then we get here. John Robinson, former USC football and Rams coach, dies at the age of 89. John Robinson, the veteran football coach who enjoyed many years of success at USC and with the Los Angeles Rams, has died. He was 89. The Rams confirmed his death on Monday. He died in Baton Rouge, Louisiana, and with complications from pneumonia. Jeez Louise. Robinson is on a high of the short list of football coaches who enjoy significant success at that in both the college and the pro ranks. He went 104, 35 and 4 at USC and 75 and 68 with the Rams, winning postseason games and contending for championships regularly with both teams. Robinson was particularly successful in bowl games, going 8-1 in the postseason with USC and UNLV. Thoughts and prayers are with the Robinson family. Did a lot of good things for the University of Southern California, and he done some good things with the Los Angeles Rams. I'll speak on that on Ramley Talk. It's just the way it is. You just hate that it happens, but that's the way it is. We are not done because we got some more news to dive into real quickly to close out our 2-minute drill. Oklahoma president and AD back Brent Venables amongst struggles. The University of Oklahoma's president and athletic director gave football coach Brent Venables a vote of confidence on Tuesday after the school board's regular meeting. The Sooners are 5-5 overall and 1-5 in the SEC. During their first season as a Southeastern Conference team, Venable in his third season in Norman, Oklahoma, has a 21-15 overall record. The president, Joseph Hauser Jr. said, quote, "We all get emotional during the course of a season. What is unwavering is the commitment to him. This is a new era for us, but it's also a new era for college athletics. And there's going to be a lot of adjustments, and there's going to be a lot of that taking place. As far as my commitment to Venable, it's 100% close," quote. All right. So we heard last week Scott Strickland bought a conference for Billy Napier, so he'll be back for Florida. This week we have Oklahoma coming out. They are back in Brent Venables. So 2 programs that are not having a productive season are both backing their head coaches in the Southeastern Conference. Very, very interesting here. And then finally, now we get to a school that was not in the SEC. That was fine. University of Southern Cal, fine. Put on probation for 2022-2023 violations. The USC football program has been fined $50,000 and placed on a 1-year probation because of violation of on and off-field coaching activities, the NCAA announced Tuesday. After conducting an investigation, the NCAA found that USC exceeded the permissible number of accountable coaches by 6 during the 2022 and 2023 seasons. The NCAA released a statement saying, quote, 8 analysts for the football program engaged in on and off-field coaching activities during the spring of 2022, the fall of 2022, and the spring of 2023, resulting in the football program exceeding the permissible number of accountable coaches by 6 for 2 academic years. As a result of the violations, the parties also agreed that the football head coach, Lincoln Riley, violated head coaching responsibilities rule, close quote. The NCAA said that because of some of these violations occurred before the rule changes in January of 2023 that shifted head coach responsibilities from a rebuttable permissiveness to an automatic attachment, Riley, who was hired by USC in November of 21, will not be suspended. Nevertheless, though, they are on probation. Aside from a year probation and the $50,000 fine, the NCAA Committee of Infractions approval further penalties. USC will be restricted from having the special teams analysts in practice and film review for 6 consecutive days during 2 weeks of the 2024-2025 season. So it's been a lot going on here, and the University of Southern Cal is paying the price for it. All right. And that would conclude our 2-minute drill. We got some comments here. Bearman is shaking his head at Jack the Rear. I really don't blame you, because why is you driving? Why intoxicated, sir? Somebody explain that to me. And he also said it doesn't matter how many times a school gets fined for when fans jump on the gridiron, because come a big win from an underdog against a giant is going to happen. I can see that, but we're talking Ole Miss and Georgia, though. So is it really a big win? Well, I guess in case of Lane Kiffin. Did I say that loud? My bad. All right, we're going to take our commercial. We're going to take our first commercial break here. And when we come back, a recap of a chaotic week 11 that became a chaotic college football playoff ranking release. We'll be back.
In a world where chronicles of the past are brought to the streams, whether the content is relatable or completely beyond your realm of life, there is no shadow of a doubt that this show is absolutely full of shenanigans. Get ready for
D. Willie in the evening.
this Sunday at 10:05 p.m. Eastern.
Exclusively on Sertoba Media, where the struggle is real to be awesome. Cool McCain.
You thought you wanted Gunther against Chad Gable, but you didn't. And I'm going to tell you why. Chad Gable would take everything that Gunther's done and bury it.
The Playmaker.
It was on site. AJ Styles walked out there seeing LA Knight. Oh, okay. Then LA Knight hopped out the car. Let's go.
Break down everything in TNA, AEW, and all of the WWE programming. Join these two kings, monarchs of wrestling, live every Monday at 6:30 p.m. Eastern, 5:30 p.m. Central on the Play Caller Sports Talk YouTube channel.
Sports fans are gearing up, whether it be for the madness of March, whether it be for the Super Bowl, or even a little thing called WrestleMania. You can get all that at Fanatics, where they have a wide selection of gear from every league, including the NFL, the NBA, the MLB, the NHL, the NCAA, and the WWE. So go on and show that pride, that passion, that dedication fan that you are by whipping your team, your league, or your favorite player. Fanatics, official license, everything.
Whether it's the men's college game,
The way that this season has been going, yeah, anything is possible.
the women's college game,
And how passionate Angel Reese was at that press conference, they got their mojo now.
the WNBA,
AJ Wilson on Twitter 1 and 2, followed by Brittany Griner, Aaliyah Boston, Jackie Young.
or the NBA.
The Lakers had a 0.8 chance of winning. And then what happened in the fourth quarter? LeBron James by himself outdid the Clippers.
You will get any and all of the information right at your fingertips or your earlobes. Join the Playmaker as he breaks down all things basketball in Shooting Lights Out on the Playmakers blog, network YouTube channel, and where you can find podcasts.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Bearing Down the Gridiron here on this Wednesday, November 13, 2024. Now that we got our 2-man drill out the way with our news and notes from the college ranks, now let's review what took place in week 11 of the college football season. It is time for the Gridiron Roundup. And let's go ahead and get to our Gridiron Roundup here. And as you can see here, we had an upset in the opening window, which we'll get into a little later. Shout out to West Virginia Mountaineers going on the road to Cincinnati, getting a 31-24 win. And the University of Texas, the 5th-ranked team in the land, did what they were supposed to do to my Florida Gators, 49-17. And I told Cole Johnson when he was on the show yesterday that they was going to beat the brakes off us. And I was right. We had a 3rd-string quarterback in, and you expect me to believe that we was going to go into Austin, Texas, and put up a decent fight against the Texas Longhorns, who was fully healthy? I didn't think so. Thank you very much. Texas destroyed us, and yeah, they did what they're supposed to do. But the one game that we're going to focus on from this set is the upset in the ATL. Georgia Tech 28, 4th-ranked Miami 23. And I wish Cool McCain was here right now because I asked him a simple question. I asked him a very simple. I said, how long is it going to take for y'all to keep winning these and keep being these tight, close shootouts before y'all get caught? Well, you went to Atlanta and you got beat by Georgia Tech. And this is the 2nd year in a row. The 2nd year in a row, ladies and gentlemen, that the Yellow Jackets have beat the Hurricanes. Those of you who don't probably forget, take you back to last year. Miami, Hard Rock Stadium. Miami has the ball. Just a kneel down with salt to game away. Nope. What does Mike Cristobal call? He calls a running play. He gives the ball to his running back. His running back fumbles the football. And then three or four plays later, Georgia Tech turns it into a touchdown, and they win the game by 1 point. Heartbreak in Miami, which they was having a bad season anyway, but even more bad after that game. And then you come into this year, you're going to the ATL. You know everybody's going to remember that game because that was just unspeakable. The game was already won. The game was in hand. All you had to do was kneel on it, but you still gave it to your running back. You running back from, but Georgia Tech capitalizes on it. So we know everybody's going to talk about that game. With Cam Ward being a Heisman front runner, the way that Miami's looking, they dropping 50 points here, 40 points there, 40 piece here. Will Georgia Tech be ready for this type of offense? They held the Hurricanes to 23 points. Georgia Tech scored a touchdown in every quarter. Miami scored 10 points in the first, 6 points in the third, and 7 points in the fourth. They didn't even score in the second quarter. And that's all it took for the Yellow Tigers to knock off the Canes for a second consecutive year. Now let's get to the numbers, shall we? 436 yards of total yards for the Canes to the Yellow Jackets 370. Miami had a turnover. They never turned Georgia Tech over. 23 first downs to only 18 for the Yellow Jackets. But look at the time of possession. Yellow Jackets 34 and 49. Almost 10 minutes better of time of possessions than the Canes, which means you limited the amount of opportunities Cam Ward had to make things happen. That's a great job by the Georgia Tech coaching staff, the offensive coordinator. When you hold a powerful offense, when you keep them off the field, as long as Georgia Tech did, good things start to happen, which did for the Georgia Tech Yellow Jackets. Now, speaking of that Heisman front runner, Cam Ward, 25 of 39. 348 in the air with 3 touchdowns. Martinez, 15 carries, 81 yards. You can't be mad with the numbers that Cam Ward has put up. It's still Heisman numbers, but it did come in the air. And Philo for the Yellow Jackets, 5 for 10, 67 yards on a touchdown. King, 20 carries, 93 yards on a touchdown. It's not pretty. Not numbers that knock your socks off. But it got them a dub over the 4th-ranked team in the country. Wow. And a little later on in the show, we'll see how far did this loss hurt the Miami Hurricanes for as in the rankings, but did it really hurt them for as playoff positioning? That is the big question here. But yes, shout out to the Yellow Jackets' second consecutive year knocking off the Miami Hurricanes. That got to be a stinger there. It has to sting. All right, the next set of games that we have here, we saw Indiana host Michigan. And they took care of business against Michigan 20-15. They still got another test coming up on their schedule against Ohio State. But when the time comes, we will get to that game. Oxford, Mississippi. We'll talk about that game in a bit. Blacksburg, Virginia. Virginia Tech hosting 23rd ranked Clemson. K. Cupner and company led by Dabo Swinney. They went to there. They felt the Enter the Sandman tradition and all that, but it came out on top 24-14 at Blacksburg. Not a very easy place to win it, but the Fighting Stabbles, they came out on top. Good win for them. And then we'll talk about Coach Prime and what they did at Liberty, Texas in a minute. But first, our spotlight game of the week took us to Oxford, Mississippi. It was the Ole Miss Rebels, ranked 16 in the country, hosting 3rd ranked the Bulldogs of Georgia. And what can be said about what took place in this one? Ole Miss 28, the Bulldogs 10. They were held to 10 points. The Georgia Bulldogs here, Kirby Smart, defensive guy, but offense, he was known for putting up some points. Put up 34 in the loss to Alabama. Put up 30 in the ass whooping in Austin, Texas. They gave the Longhorns something to think about. They put up 30 against Florida in a hard-fought game. But 10, the Ole Miss Rebels, led by Lane Kiffin, who was an offensive-minded coach, only allowed Georgia to get 10 points. Only 10? Man, look at here. We're looking at 396 yards of offense from the Rebels to only 246 from the Bulldogs. 3 more turnovers by the Bulldogs. And you know what those turnovers do? You see that time possession at the bottom, 32-15 for the Bulldogs. You're talking about close to 6 minutes. It gets negated because you turned the ball over 3 times. 3 times. Carson Beck threw another pick. Had a fumble. I think he had both fumbles, by the way, if I remember correctly. But I know he had a pick and at least one fumble. So the turnover machine, Carson Beck, continues to erode the Georgia Bulldogs, and they don't look as a team that you need to be feared. Nathan Frazier, 12 carries, 47 yards, and a touchdown. That is your leading rusher. What is up with Travis Etienne? Trevor Etienne, my bad. I'm thinking well, he ain't doing too good with Jacksonville right now either, so both of them could be in this spot. But Trevor Etienne, the transfer from Florida, you're not looking so good, is you, sir? Frazier is your leading rusher, and he only had 47 yards. Carson Beck only threw for 186 yards. No touchdowns in the pick. The mighty Bulldogs of Georgia are not so mighty anymore, are they? That is their second loss, and both are in conference. Alabama and now Ole Miss. Jackson Dart, he didn't have gaudy numbers, 13 for 22, 199 yards, touchdowns, and a pick. He also was the leading rusher, 8 carries for 50 yards. It amazes me. Lane Kiffin won that one. Lane Kiffin won a big game. Gotta give it to you, Lane. You got you a big win, Lane. Gotta give it to you. I crushed you when you lost to LSU, which you shouldn't have lost to LSU, but I crushed you for that. I'm gonna give you your praise. Your defense played a hell of a game. You hold a Bulldogs team to 10 points. And without having great numbers on offense end, which is your specialty, you did just enough. When you didn't push the envelope too much, you said, all right, defense playing great, offense having their little problems, but we are up 18 on the Bulldogs. We'll leave it like that and get out of here with a big thumb dub. Despite the fans doing what they did and all the fans that you got, no matter what. Lane Kiffin, you got your big one, sir. Congratulations. You beat Kirby Smart. And Georgia, oh boy, when I get to these rankings, Georgia fans are angry. And you know what? You can be angry at the committee. You can be angry at how they did things, but be angry at your team because you didn't show up in Oxford. You just didn't show up. From Marshall, Mississippi to Lubbock, Texas, where the Red Raiders coming off a big win against Iowa State in Ames, Iowa. Now they are hosting 20th ranked Colorado Buffaloes led by Coach Deion Sanders prime time. And that third quarter, ladies and gentlemen, that's matter of fact, I think they was up 20-10 at one point in time, and all of a sudden,